So we are going to learn a little bit about making a contour drawing, which we will then paint in as a silhouette. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a couple of drawing strategies that will help you when you're drawing. Now, they don't seem like they'll help right away, but in fact, they help a lot when you keep doing them and you practice them. When you're drawing something like this, it's very difficult to get that into your head, where all the contours are. It's a weird shape. I mean, and you really don't know how weird it is until you start tracing it with your finger. So one of the first things I do is trace it with my pencil. Not hard, just trace around it so I know where all the shapes are. That helps me understand where things are, and I think about them more when I get to them. This doesn't seem like it helps, but it helps quite a bit. Because in the end, what you're doing is really tracing it, but tracing it over here while you're doing it. The other thing is your brain has an idea about what a dog, in this case, looks like. And you're going to want to draw, you're going to make changes, and the changes will not reflect this. They'll be off, all right? And that goes into a lot of brain theory, but I'm going to tell you, what helps me is to turn it upside down. Now, you may say that, oh, that makes it harder. Actually, it makes it easier because what you're now doing is just thinking about it as a shape. I can think about it more as a shape than I could before. The third thing I'm going to think about is there's a space in between here. It's almost like a little rectangle, this white space, all right? And I'm looking at the outside of the shape. That's called the negative space. I'm thinking about the outside of the shape. That helps me draw it as well because I'm going to be measuring what this is against something else, and that makes it easier. Those are three methods that will help you draw a little better. What it does is over time you get better. So the first couple times is very frustrating, like today might be very frustrating, but I'm going to tell you that as you keep practicing, you will get better. These are three methods to talk about. One is the tracing, one is the negative space, and the third thing is turning upside down. Now, you have to draw this dog big, all right? I would say that you have to make sure that you have enough room to put it on, but I would say that you are going to draw this big enough that you could paint it or else it would just disappear, all right? Now, I am drawing, you can see where I am. I'm right on that lower jaw. And I'm coming out again. There's a skinny triangle. This is a larger, wider triangle. I have been drawing probably 50 more years than you guys have been alive. So I would like to say that as you're doing this, you have to understand that if it looks anything like the dog, partly the reason it looks like that is that I have spent a lot of time practicing. And I'm going to say this is true for just about everything you do. If you practice, you will get better. But you can't expect to automatically come in here and be able to do some of this stuff without practicing. And you will find that the ones that do it really well are kids that already practice. Now I'm done drawing this. In this case, now we're going to paint it in a very expressionistic way. It doesn't have to be the color of a dog. It could be whatever color you want it to be, all right? You can make it pink. You can make it whatever. But it is yours to draw as you paint. The one thing is, by the time we are finished next week, the whole thing has to be covered in different paint, all right? So that I have a whole picture here to look at. You can see that it looks a little bit like that dog. There are some changes. You could see that I made some changes that were you know, inevitable. It's not going to look exactly like it. But you can see it's pretty close, all right? So that's what we're doing today.